Superstar forward for the Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum, has elected to not get surgery on his non-shooting wrist. We'll be exploring how that's going to affect the Boston Celtics and how that will affect Jayson Tatum this season on this episode of Celtics Digest. We also get into some more news of Jrue Holiday, so make sure to stay tuned for that at the end. But before we get into any content on Celtics today, I would like to say that 91% of our viewers are not subscribed to our channel, and we'd greatly appreciate it if you guys hit that big old red subscribe button and join the Celtics Digest family. We're on our way to get to our 1,000 subscriber goal, and we keep getting more and more subscribers every day, and I can't thank everyone enough who's already hit that subscribe button. We're currently right under 480 subscribers, and we couldn't thank everyone enough that's already hit that button. So if you want to make sure you get your Celtics content almost daily, guys, make sure to subscribe to Celtics Digest, as we'll be providing content all throughout the regular season. But let's get into the topic at hand, starting off with Tatum putting off his wrist surgery. Now, this might be confusing for some Boston Celtics fans, as we have seen Jayson Tatum injure his wrist last offseason, and it did seem to affect Jayson Tatum in the playoffs with his shooting numbers. Now, yesterday on ESPN, Ramona Shelburne reported that Jayson Tatum has elected not to get surgery and that he's going to play throughout the regular season, and this has raised some question marks for some Boston Celtics fans. So why don't we go over the news together? Coming from Boston.com, Jayson Tatum has been dealing with a left wrist alignment since at least the 2022 playoffs, and he took a measure to treat that this offseason, but didn't go under the knife. The Celtics star opted to forego surgery on his left wrist over the offseason, receiving a cortisone shot instead, which was reported by ESPN's Ramona Shelburne, and she said he went into the offseason thinking he might need surgery on his non-shooting wrist, Shelburne said on NBA Today. He went to a bunch of specialists and essentially decided, I'm not going to get the surgery, I don't need it. I got a cortisone shot, and he said that he feels really good. Now, I have to believe that Jayson Tatum is telling the full truth here, and there are rumors that Jayson Tatum has never gotten surgery before, so maybe that is something that he's not really willing to test. But if the doctors are saying that he doesn't need the surgery and that he doesn't need to go through with the surgery, I think Jayson Tatum being smart and not having to get the surgery will help out the Boston Celtics in the future. Obviously, there's going to be some wrist pain, and Celtics fans will be saying throughout the regular season when Jayson Tatum has a bad shooting night, like, oh, we should have gotten surgery on the wrist. But I think that Jayson Tatum's still going to be an effective player because it's not on his dominant hand, it's not on his shooting hand with the injury, and I think that will help him out as well. Tatum has also expressed that he's going to be more of a ball handler this offseason and may not be shooting as much, and we'll get into that as well. It was small, but it was still a non-displaceable chip, Tatum said about Bleacher Report's Taylor Rooks in an interview in August 22, talking about his wrist. So he said that he felt like he chipped a bone, but it didn't leave the surface, but it had shown that the bone had grown over it, so it healed. But I was still in pain because I kept getting hit or falling on it, so I guess I played with somewhat of a fracture for like 2 months. Then in the playoffs, there was a play against Milwaukee in Game 3. I dunked it, Giannis chased me down and fouled me, and I fell into the crowd. That was the most painful it's been since the day that I heard it. Now, knowing that Jayson Tatum's saying that in 2022 this is when he felt the most pain, I can see that he's been obviously working through this injury and trying to get through it as best as he can. Obviously, it's been lingering for a very long time with Jayson Tatum, so we need to make sure that the Boston Celtics are nurturing this injury and looking at it at all costs, making sure that Jayson Tatum can't re-aggravate it. And obviously, the surgery would help that, but Jayson Tatum is taking a different route. He also says that now that he's going to be having more of a ball handling role because of Marcus Smart not being there anymore, he said. I basically did this all last year during the playoffs. I'm very comfortable in that role initiating the offense, is what Ramona Shelburne said about Jayson Tatum. The upcoming season, of course, is a big one for Tatum and the Celtics, as Boston will look to finally get over the hump and win a title after getting close each of its last 2 seasons. In addition, Tatum is in line to receive a major payday next offseason. He could earn a Supermax extension that would likely give him the biggest contract in NBA history, as an early estimate predicts that his next max will be well worth over $330 million. Now, for Jayson Tatum, that is amazing. Obviously, we want to make sure that he stays healthy and can get that max extension next year so he can stay with the Celtics long term. Hopefully, a championship will come alongside with that as well. But with Jayson Tatum saying he's going to be taking on some more ball handling role with losing Marcus Smart, that kind of proves to the Celtics that he is kind of going to be stepping up in that point guard role, like Ramona Shelburne talked about a few weeks ago when she mentioned that Tatum might be getting some backup point guard minutes with the Malcolm Brogdon situation, and now definitely with his injury, Tatum's definitely going to be being more of a ball handler as well, which could be great for the Boston Celtics, playing more of an assistant passing way. We'll have to see how it works for the Celtics. Best believe, want to keep that ball out of Jaylen Brown's hands for sure. Don't want him to turn over. Jayson Tatum has some turnovers problems as well, but hopefully they can both work on their turnovers they can get ready for this season, be ready for the Celtics, and hopefully this injury doesn't hurt Jayson Tatum that much. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you guys think that this injury will affect Tatum a lot, or do you guys think the Celtics will be able to roll on the season with this injury still lingering, as it's been lingering for the past couple of years? But now let's get into some more exciting news that I know you guys want to talk about, which is Pritchard being prioritized by Portland. And yes, I know all the Celtics fans want Jrue Holiday on the Boston Celtics. And as a Celtics fan, I would want him too. Just, I know that the package is getting kind of unrealistic from the Celtics, and there's so many other teams interested in Jrue Holiday, I think they can offer a better package than the Celtics. As we can see from the Celtics Reddit, you can see that the Blazers consider offers from a number of teams around the league, with the Celtics and Clippers among the frontrunners for Holiday's services. One source described trade talks as very competitive, with a handful of contenders, and even fringe playoff teams looking to get in the mix. And I saw a report that Payton Pritchard was the main guy that the Blazers wanted from the Boston Celtics. So what this shows to me is that if the Boston Celtics were to do a trade, obviously Malcolm Brogdon would have to be involved. But if Al Horford or Rob Williams' names are not being mentioned in these reports, my guess is that those two guys are safe. So if the Boston Celtics were to look at making a trade for Jrue Holiday, they would have to most likely move off of Malcolm Brogdon and their smaller contracts with picks. They might be looking to move off of guys like Pritchard, Hauser, Kornet, etc. But guys like that we still need on our roster to help with depth. And even though we could pick up some replaceable guys in free agency, I think that the guys that we already have hold our own for the Boston Celtics. I think Payton Pritchard's a great backup point guard. I think Sam Hauser can be a solid wing if he grows with the Boston Celtics. And Luke Kornet, even though he's our third string center, he has had some impactful minutes playing for the Boston Celtics in the past. And when the Boston Celtics got him a couple years ago, I know he put on the Chicago Bulls, and I was like, I don't really know this guy. I just heard he's bad. But Luke Kornet has actually turned my motor on him and changed my thoughts about him. So I think he could do that for a lot of other Celtics fans if you actually look at the key intricacies that he brings to the Celtics. Ultimately, I think a Jrue Holiday trade would set the Celtics back a bit, as we're bringing in a veteran point guard making $37 million this season and would be making $39 million on his player option the next season. That would hurt the Celtics with talking about extensions for Jayson Tatum in the future, talking about an extension for Derrick White in the future. These are going to be some hindrances if we bring Jrue Holiday, which we might not be able to extend some of our key guys that we already have on our roster. And I know Jrue Holiday is a great playmaker. He's an all-star type caliber player, a third guy on a championship contending team. But the Celtics already have three guys on their roster that can do that, in Kristaps, Porzingis, Jayson Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. And they definitely believe in Derrick White. If you guys don't forget, Derrick White is a two-time All-NBA defensive player. And Derrick White has bought into that defensive mindset, and it's shown that for the Boston Celtics. And that's why they prioritize trading Marcus Smart and keeping Derrick White, as they feel he can bring that role for the Boston Celtics. And ultimately, I think he can live up to the hype as well. I think that the Celtics should not trade for Jrue Holiday. I think that they should keep these players and keep these picks to move on for the future, and possibly looking at bringing in some better role players in there. I know, like, you have that Blake Griffin sign-in trade and all this, but I think Portland's going to get better offers, and especially from the Clippers, if they're going to be looking to do a 3-team deal with Harden, maybe, possibly, or if they're looking at Jrue Holiday, there's another possibility as well. But ultimately, I think that the Boston Celtics are going to fall short on a Jrue Holiday deal, even though they're interested in Pritchard and all these other things. I just think it's smart for the Celtics to stay put. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think that the Celtics should stay put and keep their roster, or do you guys think that we should move all the chips to get Jrue Holiday? And if so, what are you guys giving up for Jrue Holiday? I'd love to hear in the comment section below. I'll give you guys my thoughts. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed to Celtics Digest. We can't thank you guys enough. Help us get to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. We'd greatly appreciate it. I'm Bruce Veliz. I'll catch you guys in the next Celtics video. Thanks, guys.